You have those moments where nothing catastrophic actually happened. No tragedy, no explosion, no clear disaster, and yet everything feels wrong. The day feels heavier than it should. Small things feel unbearable. Your patience is gone, your energy is gone, and there's this quiet sense that life is slowly collapsing around you. You wake up already tired. You spill your coffee. Your phone freezes. Someone doesn't reply. You forget something small, but it feels huge. And at some point you think, of course, this is happening to me. Not out loud, but deep inside. It starts to feel personal, like the world itself is against you, like you're unlucky, like something is wrong with you. But here's the question we almost never ask. What if nothing actually collapsed? And what changed was the way reality is being filtered. Because when you're depressed, your life doesn't collapse. Your perception is edited by an invisible system that manufactures failure. And once that system is running, everything starts to look broken, even when it isn't. When people think about depression, they imagine sadness, low mood, tears, hopelessness. But that's not the core of it. Depression doesn't just change how you feel, it changes what you see. The same world, same events, the same day, but suddenly your mind starts highlighting everything that confirms one message. This isn't working. You're falling behind? You're failing. It's like wearing cracked glasses. The cracks aren't in the world, they're in the lens. And once that lens is in place, your brain starts behaving in very specific, very predictable ways. It filters, it selects, it edits. 10 things can happen in a day, 7 neutral, 2 mildly positive, 1 frustrating. And your brain locks onto the one frustrating thing like it's proof. Proof that the day was bad, proof that you're bad at this, proof that things are going wrong. Not because you're dramatic, not because you're weak, but because the system is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Here's the part most people never realize. Depression isn't random chaos. It's not just pain. It's a loop, a self-reinforcing system that quietly rewards avoidance and punishes action. And the reason it feels so personal is because it lives inside your own mind. It hides behind normal words. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. I'm not in the mood. I'm not ready yet. Those words sound reasonable, responsible even. But underneath them is something deeper. Your brain is trying to protect you, not from danger in the world, but from discomfort inside. Effort feels risky. Uncertainty feels dangerous. Failure feels humiliating. So when you think about doing something that matters, starting the project, having the conversation, showing up fully, your brain doesn't see opportunity. It sees threat. And when a threat is detected, the survival system takes over. It pulls you toward comfort, toward ease, toward anything that makes the pressure stop. You scroll, you clean, you answer messages that don't matter. You consume content that feels productive but changes nothing. And in that moment, you feel relief. Small, immediate, soothing relief. And that relief teaches your brain a lesson. Avoidance works. This is where the system becomes dangerous because relief is addictive. Every time you avoid discomfort and feel better, your brain learns, next time, do that again. So it does. And slowly, without you noticing, a pattern forms. You avoid the work piles up, consequences appear. Now things actually are worse, and your brain says, see, I was right. You can't handle this. The system didn't wait for evidence, it manufactured it. This is why depression feels so convincing. Because it doesn't just tell you a story, and that it rearranges your behavior in a way that makes the story come true. Thought, emotion, avoidance, consequence, proof, round and round. And here's the darker layer most people never talk about. Avoidance doesn't just steal time, it steals identity. Every day you don't act, your brain reinforces a belief. I'm the kind of person who doesn't follow through. I'm inconsistent. I waste my potential. I always start later. Identity is powerful. Your brain protects identity even when it hurts. So once you start seeing yourself as someone who fails, your mind begins searching for confirmation. One bad day becomes evidence. One mistake becomes a verdict. And change starts to feel impossible. Not because it is, but because your identity is now aligned against it. This is where many ambitious people get trapped. They're not unmotivated. They care deeply. But they also suffer from another invisible system, perfectionism. They want the right plan, the right mood, the right timing, the right version of themselves. So they wait, and they call it preparation. But perfectionism isn't excellence. Perfectionism is fear wearing a suit. Because if you never start, you never fail. If it stays in your head, it stays flawless. Reality is messy. Reality has bad drafts. Reality has awkward attempts. So perfectionism becomes the most intelligent excuse to avoid action. Weeks pass, months pass, years pass. You spend more time imagining the life you want than building it. Here's the truth that cuts through all of this. Failure is not the opposite of success. Inaction is. Failure gives feedback. Inaction gives regret. Every person you admire has failed more times than you've even tried. The difference isn't talent, it's movement. They acted before they felt ready. They acted while uncertain. They acted while scared. And slowly, through repetition, reality shaped them. Not motivation, systems. That's why willpower doesn't save you. Motivation is a feeling. Feelings fluctuate. You cannot build a life on something that disappears when you're tired, stressed, or discouraged. You build a life on systems. And systems don't start with emotion. They start with input. This is where the loop breaks. Not by thinking better, but by acting smaller. Not heroic action, not transformation, but action so small your survival system doesn't panic. 5 minutes. One paragraph, one email, one dish, one step. Small enough that resistance stays quiet. Because if your plan only works when you feel amazing, it's not a real plan. Real systems work on bad days. While you're acting, your brain will negotiate. This doesn't matter. You should do more than that. Start later when you can do it properly. That voice isn't truth. It's the old system protecting itself. Your job is not to argue. Your job is to act anyway. Because action is not a debate. Action is a decision. And every time you act while resistance exists, you teach your brain something new. Discomfort is not danger. Effort is survivable. I can trust myself. That's what discipline actually is, not intensity. Trust built through repetition. Environment matters more than people think. If your phone is near you, you will touch it. If notifications are on, you will check them. If your space is chaotic, your mind will be too. This isn't a moral failure, it's design. Your environment is a behavior machine. So stop asking yourself to be stronger. Start making distraction harder. Remove friction from focus. Add friction to avoidance. Because every distraction you remove is one less decision you have to fight. And decision fatigue is real. Most people don't fail because they lack willpower. They fail because they waste it on everything. Here's another uncomfortable truth. You might be consuming too much self-improvement. Videos, podcasts, books. It feels like progress. But often, it's progress-flavored avoidance. Learning is safe. Execution is risky. So your brain chooses safe. But you already know what to do. You don't need more information. You need reps. Your first attempts will be bad. Your first drafts will be ugly. Your first results will be slow. That's not a flaw. That's the price of entry. And yes, you will slip. You'll miss a day. You'll fall back and you'll waste time. The difference between people who change and people who stay stuck is not perfection. It's return speed. One bad day does not become a bad week. One mistake does not become collapse. You reset, not with punishment, not with shame, but with one small corrective action. Because returning reinforces a new identity. I'm the kind of person who comes back. Here's what you need to remember. You are not lazy. Lazy is not who you are. Lazy is what the system trained you to do, and systems can be changed. When you're depressed, your life doesn't collapse. Your perception is edited. And if perception can be edited, it can be restored. Not all at once, not perfectly, but one small, deliberate action at a time. So when this video ends, don't overhaul your life. Do one thing. Not tomorrow, not next week, today, then do one more tomorrow. Momentum grows quietly, and one day, without realizing it, you'll notice something powerful. The world doesn't feel as hostile anymore. Not because it changed, because you did, starting now.